This one stupid mistake set me back years of training and athletic potential and caused so much unnecessary joint pain. And in this video, I'm gonna share that mistake with you so that you can avoid it at all costs. So this was my very first dunk. Nothing to write home about, but I used to be a fat kid. I'm 5'8", and I never did track. I don't have a background in jumping or dunking. And if you guys happen to know what upward basketball is, well, that's the extent of my organized basketball career. After I got my first dunk, which was a off the lob dunk, I quickly had another goal of dunking off the dribble. Dunking off the lob took me just a year of training, but getting to a point where I could dunk off the dribble took me so long, like years upon years. And it wasn't because it was that much harder, it was because I kept repeating this same stupid mistake in my training. Training at the time was as follows. During the week, I would do some pretty traditional strength and power work, played some basketball once or twice, did some plyos and sprints, and on Saturday, I did a low rim dunking session. And anyone who knows anything about jumping higher and dunking knows that dunking on a low rim will skyrocket your vertical. What would happen after about 3 months of this format was I was jumping out the gym. And then everything would start to fall apart. My knees and ankles would get tendonitis, and my back would spasm, and honestly, my body would just break down. I did have some unfortunate type of injuries kind of around that time, like my meniscus or some ankle sprains, but it really did seem like every time I was making progress, these annoying pains would just come up and hold me back. I would back off training to get healthy again. I would start training again, my vert would go back up, and then right as I was jumping super high again, the cycle just repeated. Well, this hamster wheel actually turned out to be of my own creation. And it was because I wasn't following one of the most basic laws of training. And that law states, whenever there is an increase in output, there is an increase in intensity. What does that mean exactly? And does it just apply to jump training, or does it work for ultra running or pickleball or MMA? There are 3 fundamental variables that affect your training. Volume, which is how much you train. There's frequency, which is how often you train. And there's intensity, which is how difficult your training is. Then you have another fundamental law of training, which is progressive overload, which I like to practically apply as volume, intensity, and frequency should never all 3 be elevated at the same time. Simply put, the better you get at something, the more taxing it will be on your body. What was happening to me was I was doing all the right things to increase my output. Then when my output increased, I didn't adjust for the increase in intensity. The switch that I made was that after 3 months of seeing progress with these long low rim dunk sessions, I switched to lower volumes of jumping and dunking and playing basketball, and I did that every 3 to 4 days. So I decreased the volume to make up for the increase in intensity. Just like that, with some consistent training, I got my first off the dribble dunk. To answer your question as if this can be applicable to other forms of training, 100%. I recommend for my students as they're trying to get better at different skills like running or back squatting or stretching, start at a high frequency, so you're doing it often. You also start at a high volume, so you're accumulating a lot of reps to get familiar with the new skill or movement. At low intensities to make sure you're maximizing the quality. Then once you start to improve, then you'll realize that the intensity will automatically increase. Therefore, you either need to back off of how often you're training the skill, or you need to back off with how much you do it, aka your volume. So hopefully my mistake can give you some insight to how you can better manage your training, understand why maybe some of these pain issues that you're dealing with keep creeping up, especially the second that you start improving. And most importantly, hopefully this helps you just to continue to pursue athletic longevity. Bada bing, bada boom.